spectrum future.
Hello, we're back with another story time. Focus camera. Hey guys, so it's Savannah. Welcome back to my channel. So I haven't done a story time in a hot minute. It has been a little bit since I just kind of It has been a minute since I have done a story time. Since I have just sat down and just talked to you guys about just bizarre and unfortunate events that have occurred in my past. So if you're not aware, if you didn't get the memo, so I'm on YouNow and I do YouNow streams. I do them about once a week while I was on YouNow and talking to you guys. And I've noticed it in my comments too. You guys have asked for another story time. You guys have asked where high school horrors have gone. And if you're unaware with what a high school horror is, it's basically this little mini series that I set up on my channel of story times from my unfortunate high school experiences, because there were a lot of them. I don't know what this was. So I was thinking about it and I was like, I have a couple really good stories I could tell, but it is prom season. Some of you may have already had your prom, some of you maybe your prom's coming up. Why am I out of breath? I literally did just not do anything. So I was thinking, do I have any good prom stories? And I've mentioned to you guys in the past, I've mentioned it briefly. I haven't really told you guys the whole story. I've mentioned it a couple times that I was kind of set up on a blind date for my senior prom. And on the YouNow broadcast that I recently did, we were kind of talking about prom and a lot of you were asking if I would be able to tell that story time. And I was like, you know what? I am able to tell that story time. That is what we're doing today. Let's just get on into the video. I had this very confusing, frustrating, aggravating, wanting to bang your head against a wall type of relationship with this guy, and we're gonna call Jeff. Jeff and I were always on and off. We're always at each other's throats, like wanting to kill each other and then getting back together the next day. It's like your typical like high school type bullshit that you look back now and you're like, why was I so dumb? Jeff and I at that point, it was probably like 2.5, maybe 3 weeks before prom, we kind of like parted ways again. We just like were off again. Because we were off again, that means I'm single. If someone doesn't want to be with you, that means that you are single. One would think, right? One would actually think. Because I'd been through the ringer with Jeff so many times, I was like over sitting and dwelling about it. I was like, all right, fuck it. Like, I'm just gonna go like be a single girl and like have fun. I didn't know that was against the law at that point. And mind you, it did not take Jeff very long to get a new girlfriend. I think it took him about 4 or 5 days. He probably already had her before he got rid of me like the millionth time, so it's fine. I think it was about a week and a half before prom that I just kind of accepted the fact that I wasn't gonna go with anyone. Going with someone and the stress and the pressure always kind of freaked me out. I was the type of person where I would so much rather just like go by myself, not have to like stress about a date. And so I remember I was sitting at home after school one day and I get a text from Jeff, and getting a text from your ex is never a good sign, especially when they're dating someone else. But at the same time, this wasn't the first time this had happened. So I was kind of like, I'm painting him out to be like a really shitty person. Like he's honestly like, he's not like that bad of a guy. We just like, we're not meant for each other. He's like, okay, that's just how it is. So I get a text from Jeff and he basically tries to ask me if I would take his new girlfriend's friend to prom with me. Let me reiterate that. He asked me if I would take his new girlfriend's friend to prom with me. Mind you, we did not end on like amicable terms. This was not like, I've really enjoyed the past 1.5 years of you cheating on me and just treating me like shit. Like, let's just be friends. That wasn't what this was. Here's the thing. I was so dumb and so just like blindly, stupidly like in love with him, so I thought, and like I was like, I need to do this for him because like then he'll want me again. Like I was so dumb. He ends up calling me. Mind you, this girl went to a different school than we did and was like a grade lower than us, so I had no idea like who her friend was. I'm on the phone with Jeff and he basically, and so he says this.
So like, I think you'll really like this guy because like he's really just like me. Like he's funny, he's good looking, like he's really like me, so I think you'll actually like kind of like this guy. And my girlfriend wanted him to come to our prom, and you kind of owe me for hooking up with our friend last weekend, so you really should do this.
Like, come the fuck again? Like, what are you talking about? I owe you. I just might advise you to rewind that little part right there. That way you could fully understand the stupid bullshit that came out of his mouth. off. At that point in my life, I was like, you know what? He's right. I was single and he broke up with me and I should not have just made out with someone else at that party. Looking back, I want to bang my head into the wall for even considering it, because what the fuck? I remember calling some of my friends, like some of my guy friends, some of my girlfriends, and I was like, should I do it? Like, should I take this guy? Mind you, like I had never like texted this guy, met this guy, like I knew nothing about this guy, I didn't know his name at that point. And they were all like, Savannah, like use the last 2 brain cells you have left and realize that he is using you again and trying to manipulate you again, and don't do it. But as you can tell from the title of the story, I didn't use my last 2 brain cells for any good. It took a couple days to think about it, and I decided I was gonna take this guy to prom. For the sake of the story, we're gonna call the kid Jake. I started texting Jake that night, and he didn't seem like a psychopath. Like, he seemed pretty decent, he seemed pretty normal, but the whole situation was weird as shit. Like, the whole thing was so weird. I actually didn't even ask him to go. It was the day before, or 2 days before, or something like that. It was like super last minute. That exact same day that I texted him asking him to come with me, I get a text from Jeff. Good old Jeff. Don't text your ex 2018, 2019, 2020 until like literally infinity, because it's not gonna end well. Don't text your ex. This is where the story just becomes one big mind fuck. Jeff texts me. I forget how the conversation started. All I remember is him asking me if I was actually gonna go with Jake, if I was really gonna go with Jake. And I was like, yes, you're welcome. Jeff then proceeds to get pissed at me. Pissed at me for agreeing to bring his friend. I'm like, if you're confused, so was I. Like, I don't know. He then proceeds to tell, good God. He tells me that he cannot believe that I would actually take Jake to this prom. You're acting like this is some big surprise, that I planned this thing to take your girlfriend's friend to prom to like shove it in your face or whatnot. Like, you literally asked me, called me, texted me, asking me to take your girlfriend's friend to the prom because apparently I owed you. Like, ugh. So as we're texting, he then proceeds to tell me that the reason we're not together is my fault and that he wanted to take me to our last prom. But here's the thing, like that could have worked, but you got another girlfriend. So I don't really know what you want. I just remember he blamed the whole thing on me, which mind you, our breakup or the reason we weren't together at that point was not because of me. Homeboy just had too much of a goddamn ego and too much pride to actually swallow it and realize that he maybe, just maybe, was wrong for once. But no, never. Sav's wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong for acting single when he broke up with me, essentially, which if you think about it makes no sense. So after he verbally expressed all of his anger, we just kind of left it at that. We went to prom, and this is where I meet Jake, like actually like really meet him. So I get there, I see Jake, and we are kind of like, hey, what's up? Like, here's your corsage. Like, what's your last name again? Like, oh, you look really good. Like, what school do you go to? Like, kind of like that type of talking. And everyone knew it was weird. Everyone was like, Sav, like, who's your date? And I'm like, honestly, like, I couldn't tell you. Like, I have no idea. We get on the bus. Jeff is sitting right in front of me with his new girlfriend. And they are literally just like sucking on each other's faces the entire time. And it was like so awkward because could you imagine I'm just sitting there like this? I like, okay, like, okay, dude, like, okay, I get it, you're mad, you're pissed, okay. Jokes were all kind of on Jeff in a sense in this case because me and Jake actually started dating. We really didn't date that long, we dated for like a month, if that. It was really nothing serious. That was that. I guess the message in the story is be careful what you wish for, because I know for a goddamn fact, Jeff never thought that would happen. And he really wasn't happy about it, but I really didn't care. Jake was a really dope guy. I wanna know if you guys have any disastrous prom stories, so make sure you leave them in the comments below. And that is the end of this video. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Savannah. I make videos 3 days a week, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. You should subscribe, join the family. I just scratched my face. As always, all of my links are gonna be at the end of this video and in the description box below, and I will be back in a couple days with a brand new video. I love you.